My name's Gerke. I'm from Lansing, Michigan. I'm the youngest of four. I have an older sister and two older brothers who play a big part in my life today. However, growing up was very difficult for us. Both of my parents struggled with drug and alcohol addiction. So you would imagine, very much so, the house was in constant chaos, no one ever being looked after. So I really internalized a lot. I always felt scared, lost, and afraid to express myself. More so, I didn't know how to express myself. My brother closest to me, Isaac, is the one that I got to be with while I was in foster care, which was a true blessing. Even though we would fight to the death at some points, he really helped during that time. There used to be a bus that would come in, and that bus would pick up us kids and take us to church. And one of the church leaders there so happened to be the foster care house that we end up going to. I eventually went back to my parents. However, my father, who struggled with addiction, was unable to cope or get sober. My mother worked hard to get us back, and she did what she needed to do. But during that time, for me, I really had a hard time processing emotions. But that is when my addiction started to reel its ugly head. My first drink was with my family. And I remember having my first drink and just feeling like I could talk. I could share how I actually felt. I didn't feel like that lost little girl anymore.
Now it's too late. Now it's too late.
When I was 14 and 15, I started getting into harder drugs, started really acting out. When I was 16, I tried heroin for the first time. I dropped out of high school. Within a year, I was already addicted to it. At the age of 18, I started smoking crack. I've overdosed. I've been in jail. I get out and I go right back to the same things I was doing.
I can see the shadows look like you. I gotta forget, find something new. And it's this cycle that I stay in for those years, my youth, when I should be, in my eyes, doing other things to become an adult. And I don't know how to do those things. I don't know how to be sober at that age. And from 18 to 23, it is as dark as you can say addiction will take you. At 23 years old, I was sitting in jail for about 8 months. I was on parole in a jail cell. And I think this is the most enlightening time in all of those years of addiction and a moment that I needed to have. And that truth was, something has to change. And that's where it began. I wish I could say at the age of 23 was my first time going into treatment. I've been in treatment a few times, but there was something different about this particular time that I knew I needed help. I felt hopeless. I was hesitant. I didn't know if I could stay sober. In fact, while being in treatment, every day I questioned whether or not I'd be able to stay sober. The cravings were there. They were very real to me. The people around me holding me up when I couldn't hold myself up
showing me how to be vulnerable, what it would look like to express your emotions and be part of a community, all happen in treatment. I went into sober living because connecting with the women while I was in sober living was the most beautiful, intimate thing that I could have experienced in early recovery. I didn't know how to be sober. These women showed me that I could be. They gave me hope. My life became drastically different as I started advocating for people in recovery. I started working with foundations, started speaking at high schools, and not only was I fulfilling this hole that I had in myself, but it was giving me purpose. I started working for Banyan, and that was a dream position for someone like me. Getting that role and starting off with Banyan was an opportunity that just kind of helped me blossom into the career I have today. I got married to my wonderful husband, and we bought a house. I started connecting with my family. So my brothers struggle with their own demons, and to see a brother of mine who struggled with alcoholism for a good part of my own recovery, and to see him get sober was probably the most profound thing that would happen. And it all starts with getting help. So I'm so unbelievably proud of him.
Congratulations, class of 2022.
Jessica and Gerke.
Recovery is a process. It can be scary, it can be hard, but it certainly is possible. You deserve help. We're here to help. If you or a loved one are struggling, call Banyan.